What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have our sports analysis show with us, as always, for that show. Lucas, how are you today?
What's going on, man? I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I cannot complain. For those of you that do not know, I'm about to graduate from college next week with my associate's degree.
Yes, sir.
So, thank you. Thank
Congratulations,
you.
bro. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. And Lucas has been grinding as a barber. Go check him out. His links will be in the description.
Appreciate,
So,
appreciate it.
n- no problem at all. So, first and foremost, we got to talk about this past week in college football. By the way, everyone, this episode will strictly just be about college football as we are in that transitioning phase. We are about to make the turning point of the season. We're gonna
Let's make the
uh
leap.
yeah, we're about to take the leap. We are about to be on the last leg of the race. We're about to be on the home stretch, whatever you want to call it. So first, we got to talk about the game. Ohio State versus Michigan in the big house. I was watching this with my family up in Boston, and you know, I I had a feeling Ohio State was going to win,
Me
and
too. I was not surprised. I was not surprised.
nah, me neither. Here's the thing. Yes, Michigan has beat Ohio State 4 years in a row, and I understand that's a valid concern for people to have. However, I must say the physicality that this Ohio State team has this year, and the fact that Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate are on absolute dominant runs right now. I could not count them out, and you know, wasn't surprising at all, like Lucas said, and they really put a show on for the fans, and they really delivered. And you know, they uh, they did not plant the flag. I really thought they were going to plant that flag, but you know what, Lucas, I'll let you go.
I'm also surprised the coaches stopped that from happening. The Ohio State staff stopped that, which caught me off guard a little bit. A little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was hoping they were going to do it because the way Michigan disrespected them last year, that
Last
was
four
just
years, last 4 years, and last year especially. But yeah,
yeah,
last.
yeah, yeah. I know, but the way they especially disrespected them last year, I was hoping Ohio State was going to do it, but Ryan Day said something interesting after the game. He said, "We're going to win with humility," basically saying that we are more classier than these people.
Win with class. Win with class. Yes.
Hey, man. Hey,
If it
hey.
works, it works.
If it works, it works. I still would have loved them see them plant the flag, but hey,
Especially in the big house.
yes, yes, yes. But look, they did, get to celebrate with the fans, the Ohio State fans that traveled up there. They jumped up with the fans in the first row. One thing that you know that kind of stuck out to me a little bit: Bryce Underwood, Michigan's starting quarterback. I will say this: he he's going to be great one day. He really is. I think he's worth that contract, that massive contract that Michigan's paying him. But I think it's going to take time. And I was at the Nebraska Maryland game earlier this year, and I got to see Maryland's freshman quarterback Malik Washington play, and I got to, you know. And look, Malik is a great quarterback, and I am kind of comparing the two. They're both freshmen, and look, Malik he's going to be great one day, but it needs time, and that's what I think about Bryce. Bryce, he showed some promise in that game, but I think it's going to take time.
As all
So
good things do. Yeah, he's going to be a good quarterback.
absolutely, and he's capable of doing it for sure. On to Florida State. For those of you that do not know, we have mentioned it on the show before, but for those of you that are new, Lucas is a Tallahassee native, an 850 native, born in Tallahassee, Florida State, till the day he dies. I'll let you go first, man. What did you think about the game 40-21?
Florida State, the last 2 seasons have been very weird because for the last 50 seasons, Florida State's had a table at like the big teams. I feel like they've had a table at a respectable team for the last like 50 years.
Hmm.
So last 40 years. But this last game especially, we I feel like just are so unorganized. I don't know. I don't think we know what team we want to be. I think that we have not oversimplified things, but made things too easy, I guess. Our offense, top scoring offense in the nation. We're like number 8, I think. I think we finished number 8 in the season. And we had a losing season, which is insane.
Yeah.
Um, beat Alabama, first game of the year, which is
Yep.
crazy. First game
Yep.
of the year. We didn't just beat Alabama. We like
Yeah.
took it to them.
31-17.
We took it to them.
Yeah.
And now they're in the playoffs. So that's a funny thing to see. That's a weird, funny thing to see. Anyway, our defense could not stop the ball in any way, especially away games. Our away games were atrocious. On both sides of the ball too, not just defense, on offense too. I feel like our offense suffered away on the road, but especially showing this last game. I'm going to end up soon. Florida was not the team that should beat us. We should not have lost to Florida at all this year. Florida had a ranked win as well, for sure, but that was a terrible Florida team. It was a terrible Florida team. They
Yeah.
don't have a coach. They don't have a good quarterback. They don't have an offense at all. In my opinion, they don't really have an offense besides that one receiver. I mean, their running back. Their running back was really good. That guy got 1,000+ yards, I think, this year. So respect where respect is due. But that's it. That's all they had on offense, and their defense is just as bad as ours. So 41, or was it 41 or 42, 27?
It was 40-21, the final score.
40-21. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah, no, that should not have been the outcome at all. And
Okay.
I think Florida State needs to do some thinking on what team they want to be.
Yeah, here's the thing, and it's unfortunate to say this. I think it starts at the quarterback position. Castellanos, I think he has used up all of his eligibility, so
Yeah.
his time at Florida State is over. Here's the thing, I remember watching Florida State Alabama game. My mom is a Florida State fan in Tallahassee. Uh, you guys had great home field advantage, and you guys absolutely, were the better team that day for sure. I remember, everyone was, chanting the Tommy football. You know what I mean? It was awesome. It really seemed like you guys had something going, and then it I don't know, something like there were a few things that just maybe there were some calls that didn't go you guys' way. Like that Virginia game, like Deuce caught a touchdown. That was a
That was a
touchdown.
touchdown. That was a touchdown. He had control. He
That was
had
a touchdown.
control.
You guys got robbed. I will say that for sure. Now look, Miami, it's Miami,
It's Miami. They did pretty okay this season.
and and here's what I want to ask you though, and I was genuinely curious about this week.
Yeah.
For you as a Florida State fan, what is the one game per year that you have circled on your calendar? Is it Florida or is it Miami?
More times often than not, especially recently, it's been Miami.
Okay, because I was under the assumption it was Florida, but I appreciate you, clarifying that because look, both can get both rivalries are really important.
Yeah.
But like, I've always from my perspective from the outside looking in, I've always felt like if like I heard Draymond Green say this on a podcast one time. Like, if Michigan sucks this year and Michigan State sucks this year, that Michigan State game is still going to be a battle. And I feel like it's the
Exactly.
same thing with Florida and Florida State. Like, if from the outside looking in, if Florida sucks this year and Florida State sucks this year, which being honest, they both did,
Yeah.
that
No,
game was still a battle. It was
that game
still
was, I mean, probably up until like late third quarter. That's another thing. We looked tired after the second half. I
right.
mean, after the first half. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, we looked tired out there.
Hmm.
That's not something that should be happening in week 12.
I love the hype when it comes to college football. I love,
Dude,
because
there's nothing
rivalry.
more romantic than college football.
Absolutely, and I tell people that rivalry week and cupcake week are my two favorite weeks out of the college football regular season. Now, for those of you that don't know, cupcake week is usually like week 2,
I'd
and
say
it's
it's week
when
3. I'd say it's week 3.
I don't it's around there, yeah. So the reason why I say that is because a lot of these like big name schools, like they will pay
Alabama
like $500,000 to $2 million for a lower level team to just come in
Chattanooga.
and take a take a whooping basically. And this year was no exception. Minnesota beat Northwestern State like 66-0.
Florida
Um,
State had some too. Florida State has some every
Florida
year.
State, East Texas A&M,
Yeah,
Nebraska, they played Akron and Houston Christian, you know what I mean? So,
Alabama. Somebody played like Chattanooga State. Like, what are we doing here?
but here's the thing. The only reason why I love those games is because there's two reasons why. One, I want to see if there's a major upset.
Oh, and there is.
There are sometimes. And another reason why I want to see if there's a team that can make it to 100 points. Now, more than likely it's not going to happen because they pull all the starters out.
Yeah,
So, but that's besides the point. I love that, Florida State they cooked up an alligator and they were eating it for Thanksgiving team meal. You
yeah,
know, I love the rivalry. I love the passion that comes with it. You know what I mean? As a Nebraska fan, I am jealous of you guys' pregame tradition that Osceola rides a renegade horse,
yeah. That's the best tradition
plants a
in college
spear.
football. That's the best tradition in sports, hands down. We own the chop. We own the chop. Kansas City does not own the chop. Neither does Atlanta.
The European mind cannot comprehend, and I truly,
They can't,
truly.
dude. They can't. It's
Uh,
made, but yeah, that's
and look, I watching the game. I felt that look, Castellanos, he showed promise, but I think next year you guys are going to have Florida in Tallahassee, and I think that those same mistakes you guys made this year against Florida, I think will be corrected if you guys have the right quarterback. You know, and look, I think you guys should go after another quarterback in the portal. You know what I mean? There are
yeah,
some there are some, quarterbacks that I'm sure are going to be looking for a new home. Like I think that Juju Lewis, the backup quarterback at Colorado, that literally reclassified, like skipped his senior year of high school to go to Colorado, but they they decided, to redshirt him there at Colorado. I assume he's going to be looking for a new home. I think Florida State would be great. There's a whole lot of options that Florida State could go after. You know what I mean? And I know you guys got a great NIL fund for sure.
We do. As a Florida State fan, I think I'm just going to say this, and we don't have to touch on it.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say this. Mike Norvell needs. I think the Mike Norvell dynasty has ran out of rope.
Ooh, okay, Lucas. All right, you're coming in hot. You're coming in hot.
Sorry,
But you know
Mike
what?
Norvell is a great coach. He is a good coach, but he is not a Florida State coach.
Ow. Okay, and this is speaking from an 850 native right there. But you know what? We will turn down the heat a little bit. Lucas is coming in hot. We will touch on that another day for sure.
Absolutely.
Now moving on to the Heroes game, Nebraska versus Iowa. All right. So I am a Nebraska fan, as a lot of you guys may or may not know. My dad is from Nebraska. I am not from Nebraska, but my father sworn me in as a little boy, and I've been loyal ever since. To anyone that anyone who has a wants me to put myself out of the misery of being a Nebraska fan, kick rocks, okay?
Pound
Now,
sand.
I'm gonna look right in the camera when I say this. I
Tell
love the pain. I love the pain of being a Nebraska fan. I love the pain.
There's
Nine.
no better team to be a painful fan.
I love the pain. Doesn't matter. 9-3, 3-9, 5-7, 4-8, 7-5.
Keep going.
Does not matter. 1-11 does not matter. 0-12 does not matter. I'm here. I'm here. I love the pain of being a Nebraska fan. I want people to know that. We are the greatest fans in the history of college football. There is no place like Nebraska. Go Big Red. All right, now.
Go Big Red. Go Big Red.
Yes. Now on to the game. On to the game. Yeah, it was a shit show. You know what I mean? I don't mean to curse. Sorry for the people at home, but we sucked. We were terrible. This go around against Iowa. Last year in Iowa City, we got a gigantic kick in the place where the sun don't shine. We were devastated. But this year, we could not move the ball offensively. Emmett Johnson tried his hardest, and Emmett, if you're watching this, shout out to you, genuinely. You have tried your best this whole season, and I cannot ask for more from you. If that game was your last game as a Husker, good luck to you in the future, genuinely, and I mean that. Now, look, TJ Latif, the backup quarterback who has been a starter ever since the USC game when Dylan broke his leg. Look, TJ, you tried your best, but it wasn't enough, man. It was not enough. And, it's the same thing with Bryce and Malik. TJ, you will be great one day, but it takes time. And this is going to have to take time if he chooses to stay. That's the thing. I don't know if he's going to stay or not. I do not know. And here's another thing. Nebraska is reportedly preparing for if Dylan decides to leave. Dylan's brother has decommitted from Nebraska. Look, I'm not going to touch on that right now. I will not do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But I'm just saying, we need to get it together as far as the offensive line goes. That to me is the main issue. Now, Elijah Pritchett and Rocco Spindler, you guys are amazing this year. But Rocco Spindler is graduating. Elijah Pritchett, I think, is going to stay. we need to go all in on our offensive line. All 5 of our starting O-line should be $1 million guys that we spend on in the portal. So,
Sometimes you got to spend the money.
yes. And look, Iowa fans, you got it this year. You got it this year. But you know what? You know what? I'm not going nowhere. Okay? I am Nebraska till the day I die. There will be a Nebraska scarf in my casket when I die.
Amen.
Go Big Red. I'm never leaving, baby. Cornhusker Nation till we die. Now, all right. Enough of the passion. Now, conference championship week.
Best time of year.
For you, but I just told you my favorite weeks. But
Yes.
no, conference championship week is okay. There is 2 matchups though I do want to focus on. So, Ohio State versus Indiana in Indianapolis for the Big Ten championship, number 1 versus number 2.
Big
12
game.
and
I'm
0.
super excited for this as well.
Now, Lucas, your prediction.
For real. And at the beginning of this episode, I even said how good Ohio State looked in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Indiana. Give me Indiana. Number 2 for the win. Number 2 for the win. Always the underdog. Not even. Just give me Indiana.
Okay. I'm gonna. Wow. And you know what? That's okay.
That's all right. I'm
gonna announce my prediction. I'm gonna go with Ohio State. They seem unstoppable right now. They've just been, on an amazing run, and Ohio State's gonna win. And fun fact, I do have a cousin that went to Ohio State. I do have a cousin. Now, I'm not saying this to be biased now, because I truly believe what I'm saying.
Okay.
But I do have a cousin that actually has, I believe, 2 degrees from Ohio State, and her graduation was actually at the Horseshoe. Like,
Ooh.
yeah, it was pretty cool. But I didn't get to go to it. My grandmother, God rest her soul, she went. I truly believe that Ohio State's they're gonna win, and I think that Ohio State, they've been on an unstoppable run, and with the receiver core they have this year and Bo Jackson as a running back, their defense is just stacked with Arvell Reese, Kenyatta Jackson, and Caleb Downs. I think it's going to be too much for Indiana, personally.
Okay.
Now,
I get that.
Now, the other matchup, Alabama versus Georgia, and for the SEC championship in Atlanta. Lucas, your prediction.
We've seen this before, and every time we see this game, it is fireworks. Every time we see this game, it's insane. It always comes down to the wire. Give me number 3, Georgia.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. I am going to pick Georgia. Okay. And the reason why is because Georgia and Alabama already played each other this year.
Yes.
And Alabama did win. So I believe that, when the rematch comes around, I think Georgia's going to be more hungrier and they're going to want it more. Agreed. That's why I think Georgia's going to win. And, we have seen this before, and it's really just like it goes back and forth and back and forth. You don't know, but like I think that Georgia's going to be more hungrier, and I think Georgia will take the win. I feel like they have a good luck charm. Um, you know, like especially recently, whenever they play at the Atlanta Falcons Stadium. Now, I mean, they did lose to Alabama in Atlanta in 2018, the national championship, when Tua threw that beast of a pass to Devontae Smith, who won the national championship. But I felt like ever since then, Georgia's just kind of had a good luck charm in that stadium. I mean, I think they've maybe lost one game in that stadium since then. I mean, and it's not like they don't use it much. They use it pretty often, you
Yeah.
know, like maybe once a season. I'm not sure.
I was gonna say once or twice a season, maybe.
Probably, yeah. Now, before we end off the show, Lucas, I do want to get your projected college playoff prediction as to who will win the playoff.
This year is going to be really exciting. I'm really excited to see these playoffs. These playoffs are going to be really good. This is a hard year, but I think Ohio State is going to win the national champion.
Okay.
I think they will lose. Like I said, I think they will lose in the Big Ten, but Ohio State is too good to lose that. They won it last year. They've been there before. First time in Indiana program history. If I'm just talking about Indiana, if they make it to the CFP, I'm just saying.
Okay.
But Ohio State's been here before, and they'll do it again.
All right. All right. Then off this episode, I am going to pick. I've thought long about this one here,
Of course.
and it's not easy. However, I think that since this team is fully healthy this year, and they have all of their top guys with them, and the fact that they have been there before last year.
Mm-hmm.
And Lucas, I think you know who I'm talking about. I am going to pick Notre Dame to win the college football playoff and win the national championship this year. They have all their top guys, and don't laugh. Don't laugh. Don't laugh, bro. Come on. Bro, you look like that I Show Speed meme. Come on, man. Come, come on, man. All right, listen. Don't laugh, bro. But listen.
I'm not.
Okay. But only reason why is because they have they're fully healthy. They don't have any significant injuries. Okay. Jeremiah Love is on a monster run right now. They lost to Miami by 3 points, first game of the year, and they lost to Texas A&M by 1 point. Okay. They have what it takes, Notre Dame. They have what it takes. And I mean, the way they absolutely rolled over Syracuse, which I mean, obviously that's not really saying much, but they rolled over them. Literally was 21-0 by I think I know it's like 35-0 by the end of the first quarter against Syracuse, which was unreal. Look, Marcus Freeman, he is like out of this world coach. You know what I mean? So I'm going to give Notre Dame the prediction to win the national championship this year. So, Lucas, anything more you want to say?
We are going to see, we can possibly see the Notre Dame Ohio State rematch this year as well.
Possibly. It depends on where they're seated.
Yeah.
But possibly. The national championship is here in Hard Rock Stadium, Miami. So we're just gonna have to see. So that will definitely be exciting. So
I can't wait.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. And Lucas, thank you as always for showing up. I
Thank
do
you.
appreciate it. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And all of Lucas's barber links will be in the description. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and peace out.
Peace.